everybody, welcome to another Origami Wednesday. Today we are going to make a beautiful lotus flower. To do this we're going to need 6 pieces of pink paper and 2 pieces of green paper. And we're going to cut them in half. Now as you know, I prefer to cut with my cutting mat, ruler, and a knife because I don't have a lot of luck cutting straight with scissors. It's just not, for some reason, there's something in my brain that doesn't want me to cut straight with scissors. So, we're going to need, eventually, you're going to have 12 halves of paper. Okay, 12. And you're going to have 4 halves of the green paper. Those are going to be our leaves. Okay. So, all of these are going to get folded exactly the same, regardless of color. So you're going to fold in half lengthwise. Okay. You're going to flip it. Fold this guy up. Fold this guy up. And then I'm going to fold this to the center. Okay. And we're going to do the same on both sides. So I'm going to, if I can make my fingers work, here we go. I'm going to fold this corner. I'm going to fold, this corner. And I'm going to fold the short side to the center crease. And then, come on, you can do it. You can do it, paper. I'm going to fold it in half, and it looks like a little canoe or a boat. And we have these, okay? And you're going to do this 12 times with the pink and 4 times with the green. So I'm going to have Miss Ashley speed me up, and you guys can watch me fold in hyperdrive. Here we go. Okay, so I figured out every once in a while you'll start to do a project and you'll be like, I've done this 800 times. Why is it not working today? Yeah, this was one of those. So, I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold down this corner because I forgot I had an easier way to do this. I'm going to fold down this corner and then I'm going to fold down the side. Okay, flip. Do the same. Fold down one corner. Fold down another corner. This is also why using the same tutorial is always important. Fold short side to long side. And that's how we get our little canoe guy. Okay. I forgot to do a green one, so let's throw a green one in here. Lengthwise, side to side. Okay. Fold short corner to center. And it's nice because I can kind of use my fingers to help line up because I want it to be as square as possible. Okay. And short side to long side. Flip. Fold over my corner. Fold over my corner. And do short side to long side. Okay, we're nearly there. I'm going to have Miss Ashley speed us up one more time and we'll go ahead and finish this. Enjoy the show. All right, so we have, in sets of 3, we have 3 pinks and a green, 3 pinks and a green, 3 pinks and a green, and 3 pinks and a green. Okay, I'm going to stack these guys. So I want to tuck in my edges. So we go 1, 2, 3. So 3 pinks and a green, whoops, goes on the inside. Here in a minute we're gonna tuck them together a little bit harder, but for right this second, so we do 1 stack. Be sure to get the flaps inside, okay? Because when we come back to, when we do the magic that turns it into a flower, that's going to be very important. Now, you'll watch some tutorials and they'll have you fold the green leaf probably inside out like this. That is an option, okay? It's kind of, it makes things a little trickier, so that is really up to you. So do that as you like. I'm going to go ahead and do mine just the way I did my original one because I kind of like the way these leaves look. They look a little detailed and a little bit more like real leaves. But I've seen people who at the end, it looks just like a solid leaf. So it depends on your preference. Whatever makes you happiest is what you're going to do. Okay. Watch those flaps. They misbehave. Now, unlike see, they misbehave everywhere. Sometimes we'll do origami and we'll use glue. Today we are not going to use glue. We are going to use a rubber band, okay? You could also probably use a twist tie if you really wanted to. That's your call. Again, whatever makes you happy. I think a twist tie would probably be pretty easy. And it would be good if you wanted to make one of these and then use it on somebody's present. Then you'd have that twist tie to wrap around the ribbon. Okay, so once you get these all stacked up nice and neat, you're going to take each stack and set them side by side. Now is when I'm going to kind of tuck everything together. I'm going to grab it in the middle. Okay. Make sure everything is pretty even. Take my rubber band, put it in the middle, and I'm going to wrap it as many times as I can. I want that to be pretty tight. Okay, and then, of course, because I'm very strong, yeah, I know, don't laugh too hard, it's fine. I'm gonna roll that down. All right, so it's about in the middle. Now I'm going to take my first bundle and fold them down. And I'm going to go on the other side and do the same. Okay. And then I'm going to separate these 2 bundles. So I have what basically looks like an 8-pointed flower. And I'm going to put them pink side up because this is where we're going to work. Okay. I am going to open and curl this up to the center. Okay, and on the very first one, I want to get as close to that rubber band as I possibly can. The next one, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pull it as close to the center rubber band as I can. Because as you see on this lotus, you can really see the rubber band in there. And if that doesn't bother you, if it does bother you, you could probably take a little piece of yellow paper, crumple it up, and put it in there to act as the center of your flower. And nobody would ever see the rubber band. You would have a little yellow, I had to use pink because that's what I had handy, and that would hide the rubber band. But today we're going to get these leaves, these petals, turned up as close to the center as possible. Now I like going around in a circle like this because it means they're going, and if your paper tears a little bit, it's okay. See my paper tore a little bit? I'm just going to tuck that guy in there and it's going to be all right. They are fanning around each other. Just don't rush your paper. I think that's what's going to really help you not tear it. Just don't go really fast. Go nice and slow. Move your paper as it needs to. This, the paper is very stiff. So it's kind of making a nice little flower bud. 2 more. And 1 more. that's the first go around. We have this nice tight little bud. So people won't be able to see the rubber band inside if we don't want them to. Okay. So then we're going to start again. I'm going to go, and you know what? I can unfold the other direction this time so they kind of nest in the reverse order. And yes, you still might tear your paper, assuming you're not taking your time. So these petals stand up really nicely. And that's why when we folded it, we put the creases on one side, and then the other side we didn't have any, so it just looks like a solid petal. Okay. And this is also one of those things, I think, with practice and possibly a thinner paper. The paper I'm working with today is a little on the thick side, and that's all right. But I think that's part of, I think if you use the thinner paper, you could get a slightly less wrinkly looking lotus. Okay, that's all of those. And now we're going to do the last go round. So each time I'm just taking one layer and then moving to the next. Reverse one layer. And I suppose if you had bigger paper, you could probably do more bundles and have more petals. But to get a nice full flower, 4 bundles of 3 pink and 1 green. See, they're ornery sometimes too. And you're gonna get a nice end product. These, I want the flower to all be together. Okay. And then for your leaves, I would just pull. I want them to lie flatter. So I'm really just turning that last little bit inside out. Last little bit inside out. Again, this is, if you really like somebody and you want to give them a really cool bow on their present, this would be a really cool thing to use as a bow. So you'll see most of my leaves have that division, but like I said, I kind of like that. To me, it looks like veins. And then I've got one that doesn't fit, and it looks very smooth. And that's okay too. You know, on this side is where you're getting that vein effect. So it just depends on what makes you happiest. The key is when you start in the middle, when you start with your first layer, be sure to pull them all up as close to the middle and make it as tight as possible, because now we can't really see that rubber band in the middle. I could still take a little piece of yellow paper, tuck it down in there, and let that be the pollen and the stamens and everything. But I'm pretty happy with this one. I think it looks like a nice little lotus, ready to go floating on any pond. So this is what we're doing this week. And like I said, it takes a lot of paper, but you know what? It's worth it, because it turns out to be a really cool flower. Everybody have a great weekend, or have a great rest of your week, as the case may be. And we'll see you next Wednesday for another Origami Wednesday.